urgent but measured. Take a look at this video of eggs moving down an industrial conveyor line. Right now, nearly 1.6 million dozen eggs, exactly like E's, are being pulled from grocery store shelves across the country. This map outlines the exact distribution network impacted. The recall hits Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, New Mexico, and Mississippi. This image of a Kroger storefront represents one of the major retail chains involved. The recall also impacts Brookshare's locations, as well as eggs sold under the Simple Truth, Country Morning, and Sunup's brand labels. Those retail chains and brand names source their inventory from multiple different suppliers simultaneously. That means a large portion of the eggs sitting under those exact labels right now are completely safe to eat. Because of that mixed supply chain, relying on the brand name on the box or the city where you bought them is insufficient. Everyone living in those 6 states needs to perform a manual audit of their own refrigerator to know if they are holding contaminated food. Looking at this photo of a testing lab helps explain how this recall started. Midwest Poultry Services discovered the possible salmonella contamination through their own routine environmental testing of their barns, rather than finding out through customer complaints. As of the initial announcement, there are 0 confirmed human illnesses linked to these specific eggs. Contrast this with the August Egg Company recall last year. That company pulled their products only after health officials confirmed dozens of people had contracted salmonella and ended up hospitalized. This photo of the FDA headquarters represents the regulatory framework designed for this exact scenario. Preventative testing rules require producers to monitor their environments to catch pathogens at the farm level before they reach your breakfast table. We are dealing with a precautionary measure. Your immediate task is managing the logistical chore of checking dates and securing a refund, rather than navigating a widespread public health disaster. This graphic shows exactly where you need to look. Retrieve any suspect egg cartons from your fridge and check the small print stamped on the short side of the package. Look for plant code P1950 or 0840962. Next is a 3-digit Julian date. The contaminated window falls between 157 and 184. A carton is only recalled if it contains both a matching plant code and a Julian date inside that exact range. If your carton matches, seal it, return it for a full refund, even without a receipt, or throw it in the garbage. Executing this 2-step numerical verification is the single point of truth for this recall. It completely supersedes any trust you might place in premium brand packaging or store reputation. Salmonella enteritis is a unique pathogen. Most foodborne bacteria, like E. coli, contaminate food from the outside, typically transferring from dirt or contaminated water onto the surface of the food. This shows the biological threat of this specific Salmonella strain. It infects the hen's reproductive system and enters the egg's interior before the shell forms. Because the contamination is locked inside, you cannot rely on sight, smell, or a taste test. A dangerous egg will look and smell identical to a safe one. Looking at this photo of an active poultry facility, its clear production environments vary wildly, but expensive labels like cage-free or organic offer 0 immunity to this specific internal infection. Paying a premium price point buys better animal welfare and different dietary standards for the flock. It buys no additional biological shielding against salmonella enteritis, rendering all production methods equally vulnerable. If you hate wasting food, you might be tempted to put the recalled eggs in the freezer to neutralize the threat. Freezing merely pauses bacterial activity. The full risk of infection returns the second the egg is thawed for cooking. Cooking the egg thoroughly to an internal temperature of 160 degrees Fahrenheit will kill the bacteria, but it carries a heavy culinary trade-off. Hitting that specific temperature means cooking the yolk until it is completely hard. It eliminates soft, runny yolks and permanently bans the use of raw egg recipes like homemade mayonnaise or cookie dough. Attempting to salvage these eggs via freezing or strict high-heat cooking creates unnecessary margin for error. Total disposal is the only strategically sound option. This matrix breaks down the timeline for exposure. The incubation period takes 6 hours to 6 days for symptoms to appear. Expect standard symptoms: fever, diarrhea, nausea, and abdominal cramps. For a healthy adult, these usually resolve on their own without specific medical treatment. Most healthy immune systems will clear the infection and complete the recovery process within 4 to 7 days. The physical experience of food poisoning is undeniably miserable. However, for a healthy adult, exposure is an exercise in endurance, not a hospital emergency. But the risk profile changes entirely for vulnerable groups. Young children, the elderly, pregnant women, and the immunocompromised face severe biological risks from this bacteria. In these demographics, the bacteria can escape the intestines and enter the bloodstream, potentially causing severe complications like arterial infections or heart valve issues. This checklist details the exact medical red flags: a fever over 101.5 degrees, or bloody stool, severe dehydration, or diarrhea lasting more than 3 days should trigger an immediate call to a doctor. This footage illustrates a proactive solution for anyone who is unwilling to sacrifice runny yolks: purchasing pasteurized shell eggs. The commercial pasteurization process uses precise heat to kill internal bacteria like salmonella without actually cooking the egg. It completely neutralizes this specific threat vector. Execute your fridge audit today. Respect the strict medical symptom timelines if you've already been exposed, and upgrade to pasteurized eggs if your future culinary preferences require eliminating the risk of raw egg consumption entirely.